We have been looking at enhancing the secret messages project from the YByte Python curriculum available at www.ybyte.in. In a previous video, we saw how we could generalize the headers, which means enemy doesn't use a fixed header. In fact, the header is chosen from a list. Now in this video, we'll extend this just a little bit. We say that the headers not only come from a list, but in fact, the items on this list are not of equal length. However, remember, enemy doesn't want to give away anything just like that. So in order to conceal the fact that these headers have different length, enemy adds some extra padding letters. Because if we just did not do that, then all we need to do at our side is to look at the length of these letters, and we would know exactly what the header that was being used, right? Or we can narrow down quite a bit. Now enemy doesn't want that. He wants to make it very foolproof. So he basically goes ahead and adds, let's say, a bunch of padding letters to this message. First thing we are going to do is that update the header list. Now we are going to use headers of unequal length. However, we will limit ourselves to the case where headers are all of even length. And this is not too bad because, the encodings require it to be that way. We are going to pick up header at random as we were doing earlier. Now we are going to add some padding letters to make sure that despite the headers being different length, all the messages that come out from the enemy are of an equal length, because otherwise it just gives away the header to the other side. So let's do this one by one. I come into my code. Remember, the first thing I'll do is to make sure my header list is, let's say, a little bit more interesting. So I'd say, for example, here I use, say, Python, I use, say, Anaconda, and let's say I use perhaps, say, Copperhead, right? Now, these are all snakes. And these are all, like, say, 6 letters, 8 letters, and 10 letters respectively, all even lengths. But now I'm going to randomly choose a letter, choose a header. But like I said, I'm going to add a bunch of padding letters. So I determine, let's say that every message has to be of, say, 20 characters. And how do I get to this? Well, because my longest header is 10, my code itself is 10. So, 20 letters. And I just say, okay, I'm going to fix all letters to 20. Now you can make it 30. You can change it in any way you want to. That's okay. But basically, I determine that maximum length is this. I'm going to find out how many padding letters that I need. So I pad len is going to be, well, basically MSG len minus len of MSG. Now don't get confused with this. Basically, remember, the message here is header plus the secret code. So I'm finding out how many extra letters do I need to, let's say, make this equal to 20. And I'll get those extra letters by randomly picking them up. So I just say, create a string called padding, empty string to start with. And so I define my padding to be an empty string. Now basically I'm going to add, let's say, pad len number of letters to my message. So I just say, for, let's say, kk in range, for example, say pad len, kk in range pad len, and I will say, look, padding is equal to padding plus letters, because you already have that string. Going to index into that string with a random number. So I say random dot rand int, say 0 to 25. So this is all I need. And later on, I just add my message is header plus secret close plus paddings. And we can see this in action now. Let's say my message is, say, Python. Notice some extra letters have been added in the end. I'm hearing this, which is whatever it is. I found my header is this, and indeed my secret code seems correct, because notice that's what I'm seeing here, right? Of course, the last 4 letters must have been added as a dummy. Let's see this further. So I see, again, it's Python. So let's run it a few more times. I'm picking up a random, let's see. Now this time I run, I get, let's say, a header of Anaconda. Again, notice my next few letters are the secret code, and I'm able to decode this. Let's just run this once again. Copperhead, my secret code is this. Of course, this time around there are no dummy letters, but now it's quite interesting that the header is changing all the time. Different lengths, but the message is being padded up to the equal length. Now think about this. Coming to the decoding of this, in fact, we don't need to do anything, because the way we have written our function here, which is the find header, it will do the job for us. Remember, all we are doing is that we are looking for a header at 0th position. The moment we find it, we declare it is done, and we are doing the parsing, the string slicing also based on the length of the header. So we really do not need to do anything. And in fact, we just saw it that no matter what the encoder is, in fact, you can see the encoder right now, it was 2. No matter what the header is, I managed to decode my secret message. So really the change that was needed was only on the enemy encoder. We are in fact already equipped to handle the situation based on the general code that we have written. I hope you found this interesting. In general, if this way of learning works for you, look at our website because we have lots and lots of such activities. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye.